Right, time for another back from the boot fair. It has been absolutely sweltering in the south for the last kind of like 5 days. I think it's been over 30 degrees for those 5 days, which is a bit of a record, I think. But this is from Sunday's boot fair. It's Wednesday today. Actually went to another boot fair this morning. Sunday was amazing. I went round and I spent all my money, which was incredible. And I thought I was going to actually spend it really quickly. I thought I was going to get to probably takes me about half hour, 40 minutes to get through like all the rows of the boot fair. And I thought I might actually get to the last row and have spent all my money. I was hoping that would happen because I could get home and in the cool. But it didn't quite happen. I was going around with a few quid at the end, trying to desperately spend it. But here's what I got on Sunday. There's a lot of it. Right, as usual, it's in a massive messy pile, but I'll try and neaten it up as I go. So these nice pair of Adidas Superstar in pink, I bought those for £5. I've got this grandstand for £5, which is a little bit too, well, might be a bit too much. It's got this program cartridges in. Oh, I see. It's just the cover. I thought that was maybe you can program a cartridge, which would be a bit weird. But no, it just comes with a Super Sportic, which I guess is like tennis and football game, standard sort of game. But it's quite nice condition. That cost £5. Has got 2 controllers with it, I think. I don't think it just had the one. The Guitar Hero, which is just the game for the Wii, costs £2. Got lots of little bits to start with. That was £3. The Neko Gremlin. I don't know if he works. I'm assuming he doesn't, but we shall see. And this pair of Helen Yoy boots with this kind of weird studded effect. They were £1. Everything's breaking. The Filofax is faux leather. It's not leather. It's a W.H. Smith one. Used, I think. It was £1. And the CNET Friends, I've got spares for this, and there was one bit missing, so that was £1 as well. The Frustration was £1. That was £1. Then a couple of good bits in here. These 2 Hornby bits were £20 each. Now I think I've got a deal on the train, assuming that it is the train in there. I think it is. Oh, I haven't looked. I've looked it up. It's over 100. It's one of these silly things. The carriage, maybe not so much. That was so they're £20 each, and I think this I could probably get about £20 for this. But there you go. I thought the best thing that happened was the guy gave me his number because he said he had a load more stuff and that his brother was a hoarder or his dad was a hoarder, and he had loads of this. And I thought, fabulous! I'm going to be able to get in and get a whole shed load of this. But I messaged him and he said, "Oh, I can't talk now," which was a bit like, And then I tried ringing him and he didn't answer. So whether he's realised that they're worth quite a bit of money, I don't know. But I'm happy with what I got there. I've got the Lone Ranger model. This is a bit of a weird one. So Lone Ranger and silver. This is the first thing I picked up. It does have a stand, which is down there. So Lone Ranger and silver, and a bearded action man with a jaunty hat and a gun. Sort him out. So I thought that was quite a rare seeing a bearded action man, and an iToy for a PS2, which I kind of chucked in because they wanted 35 for the Lone Ranger and the Action Man. And I said, "Well, will you chuck in the iToy?" I've never sold an iToy for the PS, but I just thought, "Well, chuck that in for another couple of quid and I'll buy it." So those 3 things were 35, which seems a lot of money. But I think I imagine I'm going to get at least 20 for the bearded Action Man, and I'm sure the Lone Ranger will fetch a lot of money as well. So we'll see with that one. It's kind of one of those things you don't see very often, so let's go for it. Wolfdale CD player Walkman thing. That was £2. I've got a whole load of these little Le Creuset things. and I got 4 of them, and they were a tenner. So see how we go with those. I've never had Le Creuset that small. 3 PC games, a couple of Star Wars games, and a SimCity 4. And for the 3, they were £1.50. So can't really go wrong with that, I don't think. This I got off the Lone Ranger. Same guy I got the Lone Ranger and Action Man off, and that was £2. That's Starsky and Hutch Gran Torino. I had that in a Scalextric recently, which sold. So obviously, you know, quite a nice thing to have for the retro collector. This is another Sony Handycam with Power Pack. I think that was after me saying, "Oh, you know, these don't fetch that much because they're the disc cams." I went and bought another one, but it did have this case and it did have the Power Pack with it and everything. I think that was £8. So yeah, got those. I've got one of these Atari gaming things where you plug it in the telly and just play old Atari games. That was £1. That was off the same guy I got the 3 PC games off. And then an Elefun for £1, sort of standard pickup. And then, oh yeah, there's the other controller for the grandstand. And then I saw the guy who sold me those Crush helmets a few weeks ago, and which I haven't put on yet. And first thing I saw in his store was the Grumpy and Dopey, I think it is. Yeah, it's got a little bit of clean up needed. And they were new with tags, and I sort of said, "How much for these?" And he said, "Oh, you wanted £2 for those." So I was thinking, "Oh, I might get those." And then when I recognised his face, I was like, "Well, weren't you the guy who sold me the Crush helmets?" And he said, "Yeah, he had some more." So he had 3 in medium, because the ones I got before were small size. So I was like, "Well, yeah, I'll take those off your hands. Could you do them at the same price you did?" He did 2 for £33, which is a bit of a weird one. But in the end, I sort of said to him, "Could you do 3 of them for £50?" And he was like, "Oh, that's a bit much," because he was doing it for £20 each. That's the price he was selling them at. And he was like, "Can you do 55 and all this?" And in the end, we settled on 52. But I said, "Can you chuck in the 2 plushes, which he wanted £2 for?" So I was kind of like feeling I got them for £50. So 3 Crush helmets in silver. I'll have to get them on just to see if they sell. And a couple of Grumpy and Dopey, £52. So you can see at this point, I mean, I've got the Lone Ranger for 35. I've got the Hornby stuff, that was 40. This was 50. You know, I soon ran out of money. And then I bought a whole load of these things, which are like wrestling belts. These are new. And I've got a whole load of them. They were about 50p each. So I have looked them up. I mentioned this on a stream the other day. I've looked them up on Amazon, and they got absolutely no rank on Amazon, because that's obviously what I was thinking. But you know, I don't know what I'm going to put them on at really. Yeah, hopeful would be a tenner. Realistic maybe a £5, and even if they go for less than that, for 50p each, should do all right. I think that might be. Did I mention Elefun? Elefun was £1. I did get a GPS unit, which I've actually listed already, and that was £3. But yeah, there we go. That is it for the boot fair. Like I said, it didn't seem like a lot, but like it was a big spend. It was a £200 plus spend, because things there was some sort of like big outlay items on like I say 35, 40, 20 here and there, and it soon adds up. Oh, I did forget something. I knew I would. It was a whole load of Commodore games, which when I went in originally, he was saying, "Oh, £1 each," and I said to him, "How much do you want for the lot?" And he sort of was he was counting these tapes. And he was going, "Oh, I don't know, 65." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't think so." I mean, the games aren't great, to be honest. I think there's Way of the Exploding Fist in there, but you know, there's a lot of crap, to be honest. I mean, that is definitely crap if it's Man U. And the boxes aren't in brilliant condition. And I was thinking of offering him, because when he said 65, he said, "Oh, how much would this?" there's Critical Mass in there. It's quite a good game, and just loads of football games. Zub, I remember that game. I remember that being a cheap game. It came out. It was cheap when you bought it. So yeah, a lot of dross really. So this is kind of like rubbish games, and that is a bag of magazine free fodder, which might be collectible. I don't know. But I had in my head 15 quid when he said, "Oh, make me an offer," and I was going, "No, there's no point because you said 65. You know, I'm just miles away from you." And then I went back at the end of the boot fair with the tenner I had left. I had a tenner left and I had a few quid in my pocket. But I offered him a tenner for this. And he was going, "Can't you do 15? I was like, "Well, no, not really." So he said, "Yeah, all right, have that for a tenner." So from 65 to a tenner. And then I said, "What are you going to do with all of that bag of, magazine tapes?" And he said, "Oh, well, you might as well have that as well." So there you go. That's a bit of a Brucey bonus. I have no idea whether it's worth any money. I'm going to put it with my little library of Commodore games that I'm kind of amassing. It's my retro fix. But yeah, let me flip this around. Yeah, so that was Sunday, and I've done another boot fair this morning. It didn't have a huge amount of success this morning. Just some bits and bobs, which I might cover later, or I might put in another haul if I don't do so well next week. But it's too hot to even think at the moment. It's unbearable. I was going around today and I think I left at about 8, half 8, because the heat was just getting too much. So anyway, hope you all had good boot fairs at the weekend. Let me know what you picked up in the comments. I'm always interested what other people get. And let me know what you think of my pickups, whether you think they're good or not. But nothing incredible yet, lately. I want to go out and get an amazing thing for you all, but it's just not there. So fingers crossed it might be at the next one. Who knows? Anyway, for now, take care and I'll see you soon.